Hello everybody, good afternoon. How are you? Rose here. Today I'm reacting to highlights of Foodie Beauty's live stream, which he just finished up, called Coffee. I looked at the live stream, I found a few points of interest, and I also want to include part of Chantal's community post that she posted about Gary Unfiltered. So as you all know, Foodie has picked a new target to go after. In the past, she seems to have a pattern with picking one reactor and just going after them over and over again. Her past targets have included French Fry Girl, Charlie Gold, Mrs. Fields, and now she's going after Gary Unfiltered. Probably because Gary is very, very entertaining. He's making a lot of people laugh on YouTube, and his channel is growing by leaps and bounds. And Chantal is raging about that, because how dare Gary Unfiltered talk about her man? Gary mainly does reacts to Natter's cooking lives, and by themselves the cooking lives are boring, but Gary always makes them absolutely hilarious. He's just a natural comedian. And although Chantal says she doesn't like Natter, he's a horrible person, yada yada yada, she comes to his defense a lot, doesn't she? She did that last night. Yesterday, she did a live where she was talking badly about Natter, swearing I'm not going to talk to him again. I've got him blocked. And yet, when Gary did his live chat, guess who hopped in the live chat? Foodie. And she called Gary Unfiltered inbred. She was accusing him of being inbred. Yeah, she did that. She did that. And then she made a community post talking about how Southern people that were probably all inbred. Hey, Foodie, my grandmother was from Kentucky. My grandfather was from Tennessee. I got a Southern family. And I can assure you that Southern people are not inbred. I find it offensive that you're also talking about America like you know what goes on here, talking about issues and politics that have nothing to do with you. You're talking as if you've lived here for quite a while and you know what's going on. You don't. But you're trying to classify people in the United States in a certain way. I don't like that. I think that's highly offensive. I would never talk badly about Canada or the Canadian citizens or any town in Canada, because what do I know about Canada? Absolutely nothing. I don't think that's fair to do that. Although you are Canadian, you live in Canada, that's you. But I would never talk badly about Canada. I don't think that's right to do. I don't think you're a good reflection of a Canadian or a Canadian citizen. I'm sure there's lots of great Canadian people, and I'm sure Canada is absolutely breathtaking. You are just a pimple on its backside that it can't seem to get rid of. But yeah, going back to Gary and Foodie. So Foodie once again did a community post where she was going off on Gary because people were going after her. I guess she posted the community post thinking that her viewers were going to come to her defense and put the battery in the back. They didn't. They tore her apart in the comments. You guys saw it in the react video that I did last night / this morning, because I was up till 7 in the morning trying to keep up with Foodie and trying to do my ambiance. Well, let me just go ahead and share what she did, because not only did she go off in the community post today, but during her live react, which she, not live react, I'm sorry, during her live stream, she goes off about Gary again. She goes off about him again. Foodie, if you happen to see my video or somebody tells you about it, can I just tell this to you? You can't talk badly on YouTube about somebody without, in an indirect way, promoting them. Every time you put Gary's name in your mouth, it doesn't matter if you're talking badly about Gary. You're promoting his channel. You're helping his channel grow. Maybe you do like Gary. Maybe you and Natter do secretly like Gary and you want his channel to get bigger, and that's why you're talking about him. Whatever the reason, whether you really hate him or not, as a member of the Unfiltered Squad, as one of the mods, can I just say thank you? Because more people need to know about Gary Unfiltered. He is absolutely hilarious. He is. He's absolutely funny. And laughter, no matter where you find it, is always a gift. So, despite all of your hate for Gary, despite all of Natter's hate for Gary, you're doing Gary a kindness in a very strange, weird, odd way. Because you keep talking about him. You're helping his channel grow. But this is what Foodie said about Gary again today. She said, for you whiny asses, no, I don't feel bad about my previous statement. Have you heard the vile comments this winter has said about me? So take a dose of your own medicine and weep. Hashtag stay mad, hashtag wrong turn, hashtag deliverance guy. Yeah, Gary said something in his live that were like lines from the movie Deliverance. One of his favorite movies is Sling Blade. He was imitating the character. But the things that Gary has said are nowhere near as offensive as the things that Foodie has said. You know, Gary's just over there being funny. And Gary has never said anything wrong about Foodie. He's never lied about Foodie. Foodie has said far more offensive things. I mean, lately she is checking off all the boxes of groups of people to offend. Let's see. She continues to offend people talking about the tragedy. She won't shut up about that. In those drunken lives, she was playing the pumped up kick song and doing the finger guns. And she did a community post about that too, y'all. She was apologizing, yet not apologizing. She was trying to explain it away by saying, oh, you guys took it this way, and I actually meant it this way. You guys thought that I was doing the finger guns and playing the song, and I was disrespecting the victims of that tragedy. What I was doing was throwing shade at American gun laws. Foodie, by doing that, you are trying to shift the blame. You're not taking all of the blame for the hurt that you caused. People who feel true remorse and true regret, they don't shift the blame onto someone or something else. They take it on. Here's how you give a real apology, Foodie. Let me just school you for a minute, because obviously you lack empathy. You lack understanding what it is to have sincere, real feeling. This is how you do it. Pay attention now. This is important. Hi, everybody. This is Foodie Beauty. And by the way, do this in a video, not a community post, because then everybody can see your face and you can look in the camera and acknowledge what you did. Hi, everybody. This is Foodie. You know, I've been acting like a real jerk lately. A real jerk. I can't apologize enough. I've been completely out of pocket. I have been offensive. I've been hurtful. And I'm sorry. I understand that all of you are angry with me. You have a right to be angry with me. I understand your anger. I accept your anger because I deserve it. I absolutely deserve it. In that drunken live, I was playing a song and I was doing the finger guns, and I'm not going to blame it on the alcohol. I'm going to blame it on myself. I'm going to take it upon myself. So what I did caused you all to be angry, upset, and offended. I did that. I take full responsibility. And I will do my best to make sure that I never do that again. Because I don't want to hurt anybody anymore. I don't want to offend anybody anymore. And I'm going to try and grow as a person so that I will hurt less people in the future. Doing something like that, making a video like that, looking directly into the camera with your eyes not shifting every which way, not giggling, being serious, then people might take you seriously. Doing a community post is cowardly. It's cowardly. You're showing how much of a coward you are by not doing a video and really acknowledging what you did, what you said. You're running from it. You're shifting the blame somewhere. But again, let's go back to Gary. So she went after Gary. Here's the comments for that. At least some of them. We can't do them all because I'm trying to put everything together into one video. And see. Mar says, AKA, my bad decisions and awful things I say are all excused because someone else's bad behavior. Yeah, that's not how being a good person works, doll. You're literally no better. You've gotten drunk and screamed horrible things multiple times this year. That's right. Gary didn't do wrong. He didn't. She's trying to say, oh, he said something that offended me, so I have a right to say offensive things to people. No, you don't. Even if there is a wrong committed, Chantal, two wrongs don't make a right. Okay? Gary didn't do wrong. You did. He didn't say anything wrong. He didn't say anything offensive. He wasn't out of pocket. You were. Before you start looking into somebody else's backyard and criticizing how dirty it is and telling them they need to clean it up, you should clean up your own. You got a whole mess in your own yard. Focus on your own mess. Don't focus on somebody else and trying to point the finger at somebody. You've done far worse than anybody else on YouTube, ma'am. Tia Lewis says, the thing is, after you get to a certain extent, you can't go any lower. I keep thinking she's reached rock bottom, but somehow this hypocrite is still digging. I hope she gets all the attention she desires because she's sick and someone needs to take notice. You know, people have take note. People have take notice. Where's my English? People have taken notice. Trust me, people get on Twitter all the time. They send clips to YouTube on Twitter. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. People report her videos. Nothing happens. The only one that can do anything to her on YouTube is YouTube because YouTube is a company. There's no reactor that has power over Chantal, either personally or financially. All we do is react to her videos. That's it. We have no power over YouTube. We have no power over Chantal. But you're right, Tia. Just when you think she can't go any lower, just when you think she's at the bottom of the ladder, she digs a hole and goes lower than the ladder itself. You know, it's an old joke. You think she can't go any lower, and she does. She surprises you. She shocks you. Mary T says, thanks for letting us know about Gary's channel. Can't wait to subscribe. Parallax says, I just had to check him out earlier today. He's lovely. See, Chantal, you're letting people know where to find Gary. So again, thank you. Thank you very much. And I mean that. I'm being sincere, not sarcastic. Thank you very much for letting more people know about Gary. His channel is going to continue to grow, and you're going to continue to rage, and now there's going to continue to rage, and your rage is going to go nowhere. It's going to go nowhere. You know, I'm so happy to watch Gary grow. I mean, he honestly deserves it. He's hardworking. He's a wonderful person. He treats people in his chat with respect. He's a straight shooter. I mean, there's so many wonderful things about Gary. And shout out to the Unfiltered Squad in the chat, and also to the wonderful mods that I mod with, Erie Pepperoni, Dre the Stallion, Petty Pumpkin Snatch, Shenanigans. You know, you're all like family over there to me. Joanne Jones says, please, he's only repeated things you've admitted about yourself. Here's the thing. You may have escaped accountability the first time because Charlie Gold was criticized for being mean to you. This time you show your true hideous self. You've offended absolutely everyone and everyone. We don't have sympathy for you anymore. Nope, and nor should you. Save your sympathy and pity for people who deserve it. Not someone who has the means, the time, the resources, and the money to change their lives, to fix themselves, and they don't. Give that sympathy to somebody who's working on their life and they're trying to make changes, that are good people. Chantal is not a good person. She is an evil, rotten person trying to convince herself that she's good. And by the way, Chantal, if you have to convince yourself that you're good, that means you're not really good. That means you're really, really rotten trying to play at being good. Kathy L says, bringing groceries to Natter again. Got to share that YouTube paycheck with him and Dee Dee. Yep. All this drama lately, it's all about making the money, getting the views, and Natter's over on his side with his Natty Daddy channel, and now he's trying to be a reaction channel and poke at people. Natter, you suck at reacting. You don't know how to do it. You're not quick-witted. People can barely understand what you're saying. You don't speak clearly. You know, you're trying to be insulting and you're coming off looking awkward. Just cut it out, dude. You suck at cooking. You suck at reacting. I don't know what you're good at except manipulating people. But Natter, if you're trying to grow your channel and you think that poking at people is going to make them react to you and you're going to get a bunch of subs and stuff out of it and watch hours, you're not. You're absolutely not. We know what you're doing over there, and we're not going to buy into your nonsense. Let's see. Cheyenne Rose says, the only one making vile comments here is you. We won't forget how you mocked a school shooting, listening to pumped up kicks and making finger guns. Stay offended and stay mad. Yeah, like the internet never forgets. Just because she deletes a video doesn't mean it's gone forever. I'm sure that she wishes that were the case. You delete something, it's gone forever, and everybody forgets. But trust me, Chantal, we don't have amnesia. We remember everything. Ham-colored disco ball says, thanks for letting us know about another channel that is actually enjoyable. You're good for that, isn't she? Yeah, I remember when she made the same mistake. She hated Miss Glory. Hated him. And she thought she was doing something, posting his link on her community tab. All she did was give him 1,000 subs in 24 hours. She got real mad at that. It was like the Uno reverse card. And Miss Hussey is vile now. We all know that. But once upon a time when he was good with the reaction community, you know, she went after him and it backfired in a big way. And now she's doing it again with Gary. All you're doing is promoting Gary, Chantal. But go ahead, please continue. Tammy Ripley says, he has never called you inbred, though. Everything he said about you is true. Just admit it, Chantal Marie. Yeah, he never said that about her. But she tried to say that not only was he inbred, but all the people in the southern states were. I can assure you we're not. We're absolutely not. You know, you're trying to pick the lowest insult towards a certain kind of person. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. Gary's not crying in the corner. He's not. He's laughing about it. He thinks it's funny. You know, any kind of nonsense you try to throw at Gary, he's going to throw it right back in your face. This is a fight you and Natter won't win, Chantal. Lily Wonka says, your perception is so askew, Chantal. Gary's not weeping. He's gaining subs and views, which equals money at the expense of you and your stabber's rage. Keep it going, girl. When it comes to vile comments, you better shut up, hun. Everything you receive, you worked hard for, including STD. Oh, no. Financial ruin, DV, essay manipulation, high BP, hate, stabby's rejection, family, stress, etc., etc. So take the dose of what's coming to you as well. All the misery in Chantal's life is because of choices that she made for her life. She's chosen all the misery that surrounds her. Nobody else is giving it to her. Nobody's forcing it upon her. Everything about her life she chose, absolutely chose. So if she's living in any kind of misery, even for a second, it's because she chooses to. So again, I don't feel pity for this woman. I don't. I really, really don't. Kurt Wagner says, it's understandable why you feel you have to come for another person's looks when you have to live with seeing yourself in a mirror every day. I'd hate myself too. Love that for you. Yeah, there she goes. Going for his looks, going for the fact that he's Southern, and yet she's not a prize either. Kara J says, not whining. In fact, gloating that Gary makes money from you and Natter. It's awesome. Yeah. Natter has turned into quite the ripe lolcow. You know, and Natter and Chantal together are a pair of lolcows. It's lovely. It's lovely to have multiple cows in the field that you can milk. Jack Douglas says, you are aware you mocked dead children 48 hours ago? Yeah, she did that. She did that. ALWD says, pick your struggle, I guess. Being someone who's a crackhead thinks is an unbred person, or being a crackhead who rarely, if ever, bathes, sharts on themselves regularly, and is missing most of their hair and several teeth. Huh? Again, she's throwing insults and she should not. Let's see. Jen says, double down, McDouble. We knew you would. Yeah, she never truly apologizes. She'll just double down on the offensive things that she says and she thinks she does. Sheridan says, think it's pretty freaking stupid to judge all West Virginians because you don't like one. I have friends in Virginia, and I can assure you there is nothing inbred about them. You might think you want to check on your own lineage since we're being judgy and all. Yeah, imagine Chantal judging anyone on their looks or where they come from or who their families are. And see, everybody's making comments about her family. I'm not going to attack Chantal's family, just like I'm not going to attack where she lives or Canada or any Canadians or any town. I don't think that's right. My focus is on Chantal. I don't know anything about Cornwall. I don't know anything about Canada, so I'm just leaving that alone. Patricia says, haven't you seen what happens when you come for Gary, Chins? I suggest you sit your triple X fupa in the corner. Coming for him ain't what you want, sis. If you can't handle RSN and MFW, you might want to think twice before you write a check your hefty butt can't cash. Yeah, she doesn't like confrontation. She is a coward. She doesn't like it. And yet she's going to take on a good old Southern boy that's quick-witted and come back with the comebacks. Yeah, bad idea. Very bad idea. Oh, she replied. Foodie Beauty says, what happens? He looks more like a dumb guppy. Chantal, since you are insulting Gary's looks, let me just throw some at you from me. Since you like to play Mario, you look like you ate too many of the power-up mushrooms, girl. Cut it out. Understand? Cut it out. You look like you ate too many of the power-up mushrooms. Stop insulting people's looks. Patricia says, trust me, sis, getting in the ring with Gary isn't what you want. As far as looks, what do you think you look like? I have one thing to say. Time for Teletubbies. Oh, Lord. John Billson says, you pissed and shat yourself. Best locale. Yeah, instead of her being on the internet and being in this community post going after Gary, what she should be doing is working on how to clean up her filthy, disgusting house and her room, getting busy doing all that laundry, washing all the clothes soaked in vomit, washing that wig, washing those sheets, finding a way to clean that mattress. I mean, she's got some work to do. What is she doing here? It would probably take her a whole day to get everything straight again. So that's some of the comments. I don't want to stay here too terribly long. I want to get on to the live. So, okay, I've got a few timestamps. We're going to stick with the timestamps, go to the comments, and that'll be it for the day for this video. So let's get to with this thing.
I don't want to throw my drink out, but I don't know if I can drink it. Get one mashy and then make sketty.
Oh, and for those that missed it, when Chantal went to the grocery store with Pete's the other day, when she stood on the scale, she entered in how much she says she weighs. And her resting blood pressure was, as several people said, it was right at that point of hypertension, which could lead to a heart attack or a stroke. And that's her resting rate. That's not her doing anything. But yeah. And according to the scale, half her body weight is fat. That's not healthy.
I guess. You chose to post yourself online. That's going to come with reactions.
Right.
No, I don't have a problem with that. but I'm still gonna call out those. So by that same logic, Al, that you just applied to me, when he posts shit online, he's gonna get reactions. Expect it, and don't cry about it. You're gonna call me fucking.
He never cried about it though. Gary wasn't crying. He wasn't upset. He was laughing. He was happy that you came in the room. You know, like he's not one to turn away from somebody coming in and trying to oppose him. He'll turn that into something funny. You know what I told Gary a while ago, Chantal? When Gary started doing reactions to Natter, you know what I said to him? I said to him, you know what? All that you need is to make Chantal mad. Because if you make Chantal mad and she talks about you, your channel's going to explode. And Gary did not go out of his way to make Chantal mad. It just happened by happenstance. He wasn't really a Chantal reactor. He was just reacting to Natter. But Chantal decided to step her big feet in the ring and try to box and throw a few punches. And those punches missed. Because, you know, she's trying to go after Gary in the same way that she's gone after French Fry Girl and Charlie Gold and Mrs. Fields. You know, like by stepping in the ring and making herself known in a live chat, she thinks she's doing something. All she's doing when she comes into a live chat or she posts a community post or she talks about people in her live streams, all she's doing is promoting the people that she hates. Because like I said, you cannot talk negatively about somebody without promoting them too. Because people's curiosity gets piqued and they're like, who's she talking about? Let me go check him out real quick. But yeah, I told Gary that a while ago. I'm like, if you make Chantal mad, that's going to make your channel blow up. And lately, it's been just insane. Natter has been going off on Gary, and Gary has been handling it in a spectacular fashion. His live yesterday was YouTube gold. It was just that good. It was so good because Natter pulled up Gary on his tablet because he wanted Gary to react to him because Natter's over there in his corner trying to get the Natty Daddy channel monetized. And for that, you need 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. I don't think he has the watch hours yet, but he wanted Gary to react to him, reacting to him. And Gary flipped the script on him by playing a clip over and over, him banging his head. And Gary did the most wonderful thing. He played Chantal's video, the one where she showed the text messages, and Gary was literally acting it out, using voices and whatnot. And it was, I couldn't stop laughing. That made Natter so mad, so mad. I'm telling you, Gary is amazingly funny. He's genuinely funny. It's just a natural thing for him. But Gary was just focused on Natter. Chantal decided to stick her nose where it was not wanted or not needed. And she's done community posts, and now she's talking about him in this live stream. You're giving him promotion. You big idiot, Chantal. You're promoting Gary. Again, thank you for that.
Chins and everything else, and then cry when I call you a fucking idiot.
He never cried. He never cried. That's what you want to tell yourself to make you feel like you've done something, you've won something. You haven't. Gary isn't crying. His channel is growing so much because of this. Trust me, he's not sad over that.
Redneck loser? Please. Especially when you are one. Not you.
And what's wrong with being a redneck? What's wrong with that? You know nothing about being a redneck. Chantal, I come from a Southern family. Some of them are rednecks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with it. My father was kind of a redneck. He's a Southern boy. You know, I come from a Southern family where the first thing you learn besides the words mom and dad are your manners. The words, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, please excuse me, and thank you. Yeah, that kind of family. That if you do something wrong, all your family member has to do is give you that look, and you know you messed up, and you better correct yourself. So maybe it's not so bad being a redneck. growing up with all that. Plus the Southern hospitality, y'all, Southern hospitality is, it is known. It is known. Southern people are very generous. They got that Southern hospitality. That's another thing you know nothing about. But here's something my daddy taught me, Chantal. I'll pass it on to you and everybody else. My daddy, who was a redneck, he said to me, there are two kinds of sense in the world. There's book sense and there's walking around sense. You can do without the book sense, but you cannot do without the walking around sense. Walking around sense is common sense. And for all the money that you get on YouTube, you don't have walking around sense. You can't buy something like that. Hence why your life is so out of control. So if I had to pick between someone like Natter and a redneck for a companion, I'll pick the redneck, sis, any day.
Look at him. Yeah, I don't really care about. I don't know. I don't care about chins, but it's just still fat shaming. And look at him. He looks like a fucking melted piece of. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but Natter was accurate. He does look like dough.
You know what, Chantal? You don't want people to fat shame you, and yet you're fat shaming somebody else who's not even half the size of you. And that's just fact. I'm not being mean saying that. That's just fact. I don't know exactly how much Gary weighs, but you're twice his size. So should you be talking about somebody else's weight?
Just like me, so don't make fun of me when you look like dough too.
He's just calling you names that everybody else on YouTube calls you too. The name Chins gets passed around in chat, so why is it so offensive when Gary says it?
Fuck, if we had kids got together, we could make a whole pizzeria. Bitch boy.
No, girl, you're the whole bakery. But go ahead.
You got a pretty mouth. You got a pretty mouth.
You can't talk Southern. Stop it. You gotta say it like this. You sure got a pretty mouth. Like to see what you could do with it. Don't try to put on a Southern accent. You don't know how.
You got a pretty comb over. You are beans and lard personified.
And what are you? What are you? You said beans and lard personified. What are you? You are a Nashi personified, complete with all that oil and grease. Next.
What else can we say?
Oh, look how cute. She's trying to come up with insults for Gary. I'm going to say something that all Southern people say when they're throwing shade. Well, bless your little heart. We say that to you, and if you're not a baby or an animal, we are not being nice to you.
And he literally has nothing intelligent to say.
No, he's got a lot of intelligent things to say. He does. It takes a level of intelligence to be as funny as Gary is. I mean, he's very quick-witted, just on the mark every single time. It takes intelligence to be honestly funny.
Like, he just throws the stupidest insults when look at you. You look like an amoeba. Like, he literally looks like a boneless amoeba.
And what are you? You're the whole petri dish, girl.
How many brain cells do amoebas have? One, like, they're just like what, a single cell organism?
You are the whole petri dish that needs to be thrown away and put in the biohazard waste can. Girl, stop. You and all your fungus and mold and bacteria, stop it.
You look like a single and act like a single cell organism. So shut all the way up.
And you know what, Chantal, since we're here, when Gary was doing his react, he was entertaining people, not just in his chat, but in Natter's chat too. People in Natter's chat were rolling with laughter. That's talent. Somebody who is not only entertaining people in their chat room, but in other people's chat room too. I mean, honestly, I have not seen people laugh like that into your chat or his chat. I don't think either one of you had that ability to make people laugh that much for that long. And Gary was killing it.
I don't give a shit what you say about Natter. Don't come for me because I'll come for
Obviously, you do care what he says about Natter because you stuck your big old nose where it wasn't wanted. You made a point to come into Gary's chat. Nobody asked you to be there, Chantal. Chins. Nobody asked you to be there. You're trying to put off this facade that you and Natter are fighting, that you don't like him, and then you come into Gary's chat defending your man, calling him an inbred. Girl, keep your story straight. If you're going to lie, lie well. You don't know how to do that. You know what I think? I think all of your hate / dislike / drama / fights, it's all for show. It's all for the camera. You put on a show for the camera, but I'm sure there's a much different deal going on when the camera's turned off and nobody can see what you're doing. Because if you really hated him, if he was going off on Natter, you would be delighted. You would be clapping your hands, your greasy, nasty, oily hands together and saying, oh, he's going off on Natter. This is great. This is awesome. No, you jumped in the chat and acted the fool for what? For a crackhead that you pay once a month. Sometimes more than once a month because you take out payday loans. You're defending a crackhead. Miss I wanna be boss bitch. Sit down.
for me, but I'll just come back for you. That's all. Do you ever hear of the term fridge face? You ever hear a buzzing fridge?
You know what? You're the whole kitchen. Be quiet.
This is like a fridge, he's like a D2 radio. That's what these people are, D2 radios.
And you know what, Chantal? I saw a picture on the internet once of an overfed tick. And between that picture and your picture, I saw no difference. You look like an overfed tick. And you act like an overfed tick that needs to just jump off the host and stop feeding. Suck the blood out of anything that comes near you, you energy vampire.
Hi guys. Yes, please. Yeah, thanks. To ensure I keep up with my fat ass. I know I do need to check that blood pressure problem though.
Yeah, the blood pressure problem is because you're eating so doggone much and you're throwing those Starbucks drinks down your throat as quickly as you can get them down there. You know, drinking your diabetes in a cup. And you wonder why your blood pressure is sky high. No mystery to me.
Ugh.
And Matt, look at this. This person who just got through trying to fat shame Gary, she's sitting here eating a freaking Nashi in her car yet again. Really?
What are you gonna do? What is he gonna do? Hitch a ride on Mothman to come visit me?
I'm sorry. I correct myself. That is not a Nashi. Looks like it's Taco Bell. Still though, talking about somebody's size and you're the one eating nothing but fast food all the time. I got to do something about my blood pressure problem while she eats fast food. Really?
Sorry, I confused them.
Take human bites.
I'm kidding. Don't hang me. Hi, Joby.
Stop catering to the feeders. Look at her like deliberately leaving the sauce on her mouth. Stop catering to the feeders. It's gross. Take this to OnlyFans.
Theater Beauty, welcome to Worm Sheriff, you said that 1,000 times already. Nobody even cares. Not even funny. Southern Belle, welcome to Now a Southern person is gonna come give me shit, right? The Whitaker story. See, they're inbreeders.
No, we're not. No, we're not. You're trying to be clever over here. and try to find like the worst insult to Southern people. Guess what? We don't care. We don't care. Because we look at someone like you and go, really? You're trying to insult us? Yeah, okay. Okay. You're not all that. You're a walking petri dish of everything bad. How can anybody take any kind of insult seriously from you?
There is inbreeding in West Virginia. It's a thing.
How do you know that? You never lived there. You never even been there. You came across the United States, what, twice? Once you came over here for fast food, and the other one was you came over here to do something and you went right back to Canada. How would you know what West Virginia is like? You couldn't hang in West Virginia. I'm sure there's lots of West Virginians that are awesome people, but you would never know that because Miss I'm Gonna Be, you've never been anywhere except for the freaking bathroom.
And I'm sure Gary, since he's from there, and he looks like a fridge.
Okay, freeze frame. I did that on purpose. Yes, I'm petty like that. This person, Foodie Beauty, looking like this, trying to insult Gary. Gary comes on camera. He's always sober, ready to go, dressed well, hair combed. And this beast thinks she can throw insults at Gary. Sometimes the jokes just write themselves.
Is fucking inbred, guaranteed.
No, he's not.
Sue me. It's just a theory. And it's not to be insulting. It's an actual.
It's not to be insulting, but what exactly is it supposed to be?
American condition. The whip.
No, it ain't. See, there she goes. She's like, oh, it's an American condition. So, like, are you trying to say that all of us are inbred over here? No, that's not true. But go ahead, try to be clever. Try to be clever with your 2 IQ. Go ahead.
Whitakers are a prime example. People inbreed with one another. It's a thing. It's the soft white underbelly of the United States.
No, it ain't.
And Gary, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of, Gary. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't want to go to this Burger King. I want to go to the other Burger King.
Again, sometimes the jokes just write themselves. She literally just got through eating. She literally just got through eating Taco Bell. Now she's going to head over to BK. And you're talking about Gary being a big boy? Girl, look at you. Look at you running from place to place to place. Like if you don't run fast enough, they're going to run away.
It's all around G. Mason's so opposite, and then I just know if it like develops further. I hope it doesn't get boring like with Bibi.
So she's gonna start talking about Bibi. For those who are fairly new to Shantopolis, a little recap. So before Foodie Beauty moved into the villa that she's currently in, and that was a few years ago, she was with a gentleman named Bibi, who was a great guy. He was hardworking, he had a job, he had money, and he took care of himself. Foodie got into a relationship with Bibi for 5 years, and while she was with Bibi, she cheated on Bibi, and she made his life miserable. She brought Bibi on camera a few times, and every time she did, she was very disrespectful. There were many live streams where he'd be in the other room playing his game, and she would roll her eyes, or she would be disrespectful to him during the streams. And once, while they were together, Bibi was just ironing his shirts for work, and Chantal threw a temper tantrum because he wasn't giving her attention at that moment. Like, that's how deranged she is.
You know what I mean? I have a question for you. I want an honest answer. Your honest opinion. I don't want an answer from Worm Sharing, but I want an answer from like actual people. All right. There's some secrets I have, some skeletons in my closet that are really bothering me, and I have nightmares about them. And I feel like it would, like if I come clean about it, if I come clean about this, I will lose this person in my life. I know it. It's not that I talk a lot to this person anyway, but I've done some things while I was with them that they don't know about, beyond what they don't know about. And I feel like a shitty ass person. Maybe I just feel like a shitty ass person from all these things I don't own up to.
Maybe you do. Maybe because you've been ducking and dodging and weaving truth so long, all this stuff is inside of you and it wants to come out, but you won't let it out because you continue to live in your world of delusion. My question, my curiosity right now at this moment is, Bibi's been out of your life for more than a while. Why are you talking about it now? Is it because you need something to talk about? Because that's how it appears to me. Why bring up Bibi? Bibi's been gone. He dodged a bullet. He got rid of you. You're somebody else's problem now. Why bring up Bibi? Why won't you let Bibi rest in peace? Not meaning he's dead, but just let him alone. Let him go live his life and stop bringing him up in your live streams. That would be the more respectful thing to do, is to leave the man well enough alone.
And it bothers me and it darkens my soul when it comes out later when I drink.
You were not thinking about Bibi when you were being offensive the other night, Chantal. You weren't talking about Bibi. You were talking about other things. Quit it.
Whatever you do in secret haunts you later. If you have a conscience, it does.
Well, you don't have one, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You don't have a conscience and you don't have a soul. You've already proved that to us.
You can't escape your actions. So my question to you is, do you think since it's so long ago and maybe this person would just be better, I mean, they'd be happier not knowing this information in an ignorance is bliss kind of way, but I'm sure.
What would be the point of bringing it up? If you called up Bibi right now and brought it up, what would be the purpose? Why would you call him and bother him with this? It's a done deal. He's done with you. You're done with him. You've moved on to Natter. What would be the point of having the conversation? What? I just don't get it.
Deep down, they would want to know the truth.
Deep down, they don't care. Bibi has moved on. Let him go. You cheated. If he knows it or he doesn't know it, you guys have been apart long enough. Leave the man alone.
And I feel like I owe that to them. But it makes me a horrible person.
Yes.
I don't know even how to begin to tell them, but I did. And I don't know. Like, it's easy for me to come clean about things online more so than it is to do it directly with the person.
Yeah, because you're a coward. You run from confrontation. Like all this mess you talk about people online, if those people were directly in front of you, you would say nothing. You would giggle nervously and just try to play it off. You are a coward, just like you and Natter. You say a bunch of smack about him online when you can get away with it, but in front of Natter, you don't dare say those things. You don't dare say those things. You're the worst kind of coward. You got a big mouth, but you don't use that big mouth to voice your feelings to the people you got a problem with. And Pete's is kind of the same way. You know, he's Mr. Big and Bad online, but he would never say the things that he says to people that he's got a problem with. So you and Pete are kind of alike like that. But you got a problem with somebody, you got something to say. If you want to show true accountability and responsibility and emotional maturity, say it to them in person. Don't do it through a text or an email or a live stream. I mean, you're talking about this stuff in your live stream right now in front of an audience of a lot of people. Shouldn't this be something you say for yourself and say it to Bibi in person privately? See, that's your problem. You don't know when to keep your mouth shut. You don't know how to keep things private. You take all private things and make them public. And then when the public comments, you say, I want my privacy. You can't have it both ways. Private is private, public is public. You can't cross the two lanes. This stuff you're saying right now about bibi, you should keep your mouth shut. You should talk about it with people. You should discuss it with people. You should get on the phone and talk to them privately if you feel you need to. Although I don't think you need to. I think if you had any respect for bibi as a human, as a man, as a person, you would leave him alone. Just stop talking about him. Let him move on. Let him live his life. He deserves that. He earned that.
It's really bad. So, like, what would you guys do in that situation? Like, would you fess up, or do you think I should just let it be buried? I'm not even with this person anymore.
Let it be buried. Let it be buried. It's a done deal. He's gone. If you told him that you cheated, what would it change? What would change? I don't think he talks to you anymore. Are you trying to find a reason to talk to him? Is that what's up? You're trying to find something to reach out to bibi, find a reason to talk to bibi because you miss bibi. Is that what's up? Sounds like it.
Like, it was so long ago, so many years ago. So, I mean,
Yeah, leave it alone. Leave him alone. Let him go. bibi was the last good man in your life, and you blew it. You blew it with bibi. He was hardworking. He was a good provider. I'm sure he wasn't abusive. He was a good man. That was the last good, decent man in your life. And you blew it by being a complete energy vampire and buffoon. You blew a good thing. You let go of a good thing by being foolish. And now your life is a result of your choices and your actions. If you got any kind of a conscience or a soul inside of you, you will realize I did wrong. I was wrong to bibi. I cheated on bibi. He deserves better. I should let him just be happy in whatever life he has now. And I won't interrupt that. I won't get in the way of that. I'll just let go and let him live.
I cheated. Over and over.
Oh, so it happened more than once? Slimy.
Like the entire relationship almost.
So it wasn't really a relationship to you, because if it had been a real relationship, you would have been faithful. So you were with bibi and you were cheating on him the whole time? You disrespected that man. You disrespected him by doing that. Little side issue. I don't understand people who are in relationships, supposedly monogamous relationships, and they cheat on their partners. What's the point of that? If you know that you cannot be monogamous to that person, if you know that you want to step out with other people, you're going to get tempted by other people, the best thing you can do is not lock somebody down in a relationship. There's no excuse for cheating, because there's a million seconds between the time that you meet somebody and the moment you take your clothes off and do the dirty. And in any one of those seconds, you can stop and say, no, I'm not going through with this. This is wrong. This is wrong to do that to the person who's waiting for me at home, who cares about me. Obviously, you don't even have the control to say, no, Chantal. That's why you don't need to be in a relationship, Chantal. That's why I say, I'm glad you're with Natter. You don't deserve a decent man. You don't deserve a relationship. You would wreck and ruin anybody that came near you. You would do them dirty. You would leave them in ruin. You are getting exactly everything you deserve.
Like, I had an affair with someone while I was with someone.
Yeah, you're slimy. Shame on you.
I am a cheater.
Yep.
And I'm hating on Natter for cheating on me.
Yeah, and not only did you cheat on Bibi, you cheated on Pete as well with Bibi. So you're a serial cheater. You can't keep your legs closed. They seem to be open all the time like a convenience store, open 24/7. Anybody can just walk in and come get something. And you want to be in a relationship. You want to be married. If you're married the right way, that means you keep your legs closed, Chantal.
Me, when he won't even like behind the scenes, yes. Oh, you're my girlfriend. I'm in a relationship with you. Blah blah blah. Telling me all that shit. And he would always explain it away like, oh, I'm not going to claim you online because.
How does it feel, Chantal, to have somebody do to you what you did to other people? How does it feel to be on the receiving, not the giving end? I want to know.
Until you apologize to me, until you talk so much shit about me, like I look like an idiot. People are going to be like, why are you with this girl after she talks so much shit about you? And he would tell me it's because he loves me.
He doesn't love you. He loves your money. If he loved you, you wouldn't have to give him money to get that love. Stupid.
But people are not going to understand that.
You don't pay for love. I don't care what you say. You don't pay for love. You got to pay for it. It's not real. But you did say all he has to do is fake love me. So I guess you got to pay for fake love. You just don't pay for the real stuff.
Say, in my opinion, fuck what people say. If you love me, fucking tell the world. Doesn't fucking matter what we did to each other. We both fucked up. We both did shit to each other. And so I feel like I'm the only one owning this shit. And that's not cool with me.
You're not owning anything.
So that's my sentiments on this whole thing with Matter. Now, this thing with the cheating thing is just, it bugs me, and it's starting. I thought it because it was so many years ago that it wouldn't bug me and it wouldn't affect me anymore, and that I could just bottle it down. But I'm starting to have dreams about it.
No, shut up. It's been years. Why is it taking years for her to feel this way? I don't get it. Why is it taking years? Shouldn't this have happened like a while ago, like when she first broke up with Bibi or the first 6 months of Bibi? Why is it all of a sudden Bibi's coming back into the picture? Is she talking about Bibi to make Natter jealous?
About the person I had an affair with again. And then recently we drove by his place. I didn't tell you guys. Well, I was like, I mentioned it sort of, but where's my thumbnails? Shut up.
Oh, stop.
Hey.
You're sitting here talking about emotional issues while you're driving through a drive-thru. I can't take you seriously.
Well, that was direct.
And eating another fast food sandwich.
Somebody, I would be afraid of getting offline and my fucking mother dropping dead or something like that. You wish death on someone, one of your family members is going.
I don't wish death upon Chantal. I just wish she would cut out this nonsense behavior. And if she's not going to, keep it offline. Things have gotten way too much, way too toxic. We, the community, we do not need to be exposed to this. She can choose to keep all this crap private. That would be the more respectful thing to do. If you're going to have private crap drama go on, keep it private. Don't expose people to it. We don't need to see everything, Chantal. We don't need to hear about everything. But enough with this nonsense. Let's go to the comments. Absolute in doubt says, as soon as he calls around payday, you'll answer and go running back to him. Yep, absolutely. Agreed. Janet Peterson says, if you don't like being called gross, then don't act gross. I found your channel because of a reaction channel. Natter is a jerk, and he has certainly contributed to your problems. The very first stream I saw of yours was your breakdown when you got to Cuba. Any heartache that you have had since you came back from Cuba is totally on you. I'll actually take it further, Janet. Any heartache in her life before or since then is her fault. Everything that she's going through right now is, it comes from a choice that she made on how to live and how to, conduct herself. Summer Flower says, how does anyone complain this much every day? She literally never stops complaining. It has to be exhausting. It's exhausting for all of us that are reactors. It's the same BS all the time. I wish you would just shut up bitching. Who is this? N Division says, I think I have fallen in love with your beezing. Are you a feeder? Are you a feeder? Is that why you enjoy her eating fast food all the time? I'm curious. Let me know. Anyway, that's it for this React video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and please take care. Bye-bye.